Wow. So it was always like Italian food and pizza from the get-go.
From the get-go, from my grandma. That's all she did. My mom cooks all the time.
Yeah.
And so when we got my great-grandmother's recipes, she's from Italy, and we took her meatball recipe, her sauce recipe, and then we got her dough recipe and kind of had it manipulated because she was cooking in a convection oven at the house, and we needed a wood-fired oven at 850 degrees. It's a little bit different, so we messed around with that, but kind of came out with products I think people like and kind of hit a home run with it. Right.
So, food trucks being built, recipes, developing the recipe and developing the menu. I mean, what's the first test run like? What's that first night? Where were you?
Oh, well, let me gather just a tad bit back for that. So to build up the brand name, while the truck was being built, I would bake bread every night. And I bake these breads that were about the size of your hand, and I'd wrap it up and I'd put a card on it. My wife would help out. And this table that we're at right now, it'd be filled up with bread. You couldn't see any wood, and it'd be filled up twice. And I would start throwing these blitzes out on social media, like who wants free bread?
Yeah.
And it was up in Stillwater because I thought, hey, this is going to be perfect for Stillwater. This truck, we'll do it here. Every day I would deliver, 90 loaves of bread. Every night I cook it.
Yeah.
We'd deliver it for free. People started liking it, started chatting about it, talking about it, sharing it. And I told everyone, I go, we're not going to open up until we have 1,000 followers on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that went pretty quick. And it was just a matter of really probably 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, and we had it.
Yeah.
And so then we had to open up. So it's like, all right, we did a few test runs at the house. I don't know. Alcohol was probably involved, so we probably didn't do the best test runs.
Right.
And we were having fun with it. And I'm like, yeah, this is a piece of cake. Let's go do it. So the night before, I remember we're setting up and we're going to go to my wife's friend's location in Stillwater. It's right on the main road on Perkins Road, and this will be great. And we go there, and it's my mother and I and my wife.
Yeah.
And we barely know how to roll dough. We barely know how to top pizzas. And next thing you know, we have about 50 people show up. And we don't have a clue what to do. I'm yelling at my mom. This is like a classic Italian family. Right, Mom's yelling at me. I'm yelling at her. And it's hard. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Why are we doing this? But we got accustomed to it. But every dough ball we made, we sold. And that was an accomplishment for us. Yeah. But it was because of social media that they came out. It wasn't because they drove by and saw a truck.
Because of all the free bread you'd given out.
Yeah. Gave out. And it was our dough bread. Yeah. I just made the dough into bread. And so when people came out, they supported ugliest looking pizza you've ever seen. It's not even circular. Some of them look like hearts and footballs. And you're just like, get them out, go, because people are here. And, now we can serve 350 people in a 2.5 hour span. It's no big deal. And at that time, it's, like 7 people in line, and I'm freaking out. So it was nerve wracking, but it was great. And then it kind of took off, and we started selling in Stillwater, but we could never sell a lot. Okay. And my whole thing was, this is a business. This isn't a hobby.
Right.
And I'll never forget, right before I started this, there was Big Truck Taco, and they were the perfect example to follow. But I'll never forget that Catherine did an interview, and she said that no one will ever be able to make it in a food truck alone. That can never happen. And it was printed in the Daily Oklahoman, and I cut it out, and I kept it. And I have it around here somewhere. But
it's framed somewhere, isn't it?
There's my inspiration, because I'm like, you're saying that no one can have a full-time business as a food truck.
Yeah.
And I took that as a challenge. And it was nothing against her, and it was something I needed.
It's exactly what you needed.
But I understand, because you look at the odds on doing it, not a lot of people can do it. And it's just the odds don't happen, just like restaurants don't happen. So I didn't think we were going to make it for the first 4 or 5 months, and we're strictly in Stillwater. And then we started venturing down here with her, with H&H. Uh-huh. And then coming down more on a regular basis, starting to get corporate gigs for lunch.
That's where I first had your pizza, was H&H.
And then we started, we were driving the truck back and forth. It was actually 120 miles a day.
Yeah.
And we'd do it in the snow, wind, rain. It got scary. And we would go back and forth from Stillwater. I had a guy making dough up in Perkins at my friend's Mexican restaurant. And we would store everything at my friend's restaurant, and then we could pick it up at the night, put it on the truck in the morning, take off and do it. And Cam would make dough again afterwards. And it just started taking off. And next thing you know, we're looking at it like we can't drive back and forth, and we got to cut the cord from Stillwater. Now
the truck's got to last.
Yeah, because we're looking at, I need to do more than 100 pizzas at lunch. I know we can do more, and we are. But in Stillwater, we're doing like 55 or 70. So next thing you know, it kind of takes off, Mike, and we get a place down here in Oklahoma City, find a location, store it. We build out a commissary, and we make Saucee Sicilian's home down here. Yeah. And so for 4 years, I traveled back and forth from Perkins to Oklahoma City at night afterwards, just not in the truck. Yeah. And do it all over. And we
a lot of long days, long nights.
A lot of long, but you got to. And you got to have the right staff. And I did, to where we would work Tuesday through Saturday, lunch and dinner. Yeah. Constantly. And I didn't care if we sold 20 pizzas some days. If our truck was out and people could see it, then I know we're going to succeed just by people noticing it.
Right, numbers.